He'll paint your noose like an old man. He's got you thinking about your death and you are frightened.
Hi to everyone, I'm Ada from PoisonedRock, and with me today there is Julien, right, Julien?
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Benighted. So thanks Julien for being with us, and I'll start straight with the question. Speak a little about Benighted.
Yeah, I think, what can I say about Benighted? We started, I think, 22 years ago now, the band. We are kind of an old band now. And I'm the only former member left, if I'm right. And we recorded 9 albums and a new one this year. Unfortunately, during the COVID situation,
Yeah.
we released the new album in last April.
Oh my
But
god.
and yeah, and now we are very frustrated because we can't do to promote it. So we are like
Yeah.
all the time, I guess, waiting for things getting better and be able to start touring again because it's really not a good idea to release an album when it's a COVID situation.
I knew. I knew very well. And you were speaking about your last work, Obscene Repressed, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so what can you tell about this album?
Well, this album is with again a new lineup changes because it's the very first album that we record with our new drummer Kevin Paradis and our new guitarist Fabien Desgardins. And I have to say that like every album, we had a lot of pressure because we wanted to do an album that would be, of course, more intense than the one before. We always try
Yeah.
to improve ourselves, like in speed, in brutality, in groove as well, and
Yeah.
also find some catchy choruses that makes people want to break their neck, on it. And I'm very happy about the result because all the tracks for me could have been an opening track of the album. And so far, I
Yeah.
wouldn't change anything to this album because for me, it's for me and for a lot of fans apparently, it's our best album.
That's a good to know. I already heard something because I was just listening something before the interview. So, moving forward in this album, I read that there is three special guests.
Yeah.
So, could you tell about these guests more and how was work with them?
Well, it's three different situations. First, I think I will start with Jagger from the German band Disbelief. Jagger was a very good friend of mine and that I know for many years because he was already featuring on our album Icon.
Okay.
And when we wrote this very romantic song called Mom, I Love You the Wrong Way, I surprised myself during the rehearsal trying to imitate this kind of obituary vocals.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, why should I do that? Because Jagger would do that twice or three times better than me. So I would just ask him to do that. And I called him and he told me, yeah, of course, I want to do it. And you know what, Julian, we are releasing a new Disbelief album as well. And I want you to do guest vocals for Disbelief too. I said, okay, let's do that.
Let's
It
do
was
it.
like sharing dinner, everyone at the
Yeah.
place. But that was very cool. And I really love his voice. Jagger has such a powerful and disgusting voice. I really love it. What else for the song "The Starving Beast"? So I invited Grimo from Cytotoxin, German band
Yeah.
as well. We toured with Cytotoxin 2 years ago during a tour with Aborted and Cryptopsy. And
Yeah.
with Grimo, we became very close very fast, also because he's a huge fan of sport and workout and everything. So he kind of coached me during the tour as he is an actual sport coach in real life. And he really killed me because he's so fucking strong. And well, it was kind of obvious that I wanted him on the new album because he became like my
Yeah.
brother.
Sure.
He has such a powerful voice, and I was like, yeah, bro, please come make a guest. I have a very special song where with a very fast combination of our vocals, it could sound killer, and I'm very very happy about the
Yeah.
recent song.
That's, and the last one, who was it?
The last one, but not not the less important because I think it's the most surprising thing on the album in terms of guests is Jimmy Jasta from 8 Breed. Uh,
Huge, huge band.
yeah, it was for me. It was like a dream because I don't know
Yeah.
Jimmy just at all. I think I met him maybe once in my whole life, and I heard by a friend of mine that he spoke about Benighted in one of his podcasts. So I assume that he probably liked the band. And when we wrote the song "Implore the Negative," I thought that the hardcore voice would be just perfect with mine as question answer and stuff like that. And I was like, well, let's try it. That would be an honor to have Jimmy Jasta on our album. So I just took the chance and I
Of
wrote
course.
Nuclear Blast, and I contacted a guy called Marcus, who was super nice, and asked if he could forward my mail to Jimmy because I was interested
Yeah.
in a featuring with us. And Marcus told me, "Well, I have to tell you, I really love Benighted. So to see this kind of collaboration, I would find it fantastic. But Jamie is a very, very busy guy and probably won't even answer. So don't take it personally or anything." So I was like, "Of course, I understand. He has other
Yeah,
things
you
to
can.
do."
It's not your fault.
Yeah. And 2 weeks after that, I received an email from Marcus saying, "Hey, Julian, well, Jamie is up for the task. So, Julian, here is Jamie. Jamie, here is Julian. And I let you handle the stuff together." And that's how it
That's
happened. But
amazing. That's
oh, yeah.
amazing.
When I wrote the email, I was like, I felt like a kid. I was like, this is happening. This is fucking happening.
Yeah, I know the sensation. Believe me, every day when I contact a band that I really into it, I say, okay, this is happening. Like the first time, okay, if that band answer me, this is happening. I know the sensation, the feelings of one of your idol answer you. It's like I can do it, I can't, but I have to. So handle this.
Yeah, sure.
I know the sensation.
I know the feeling. That as long as I didn't receive the vocals, I kept, a bit careful and said, okay, don't be too disappointed. Once you have the file, it's really happening. But as long as the files are not here, just keep in mind that it can be fucked up or something. But when I received the file, I was like, oh, it's done. And I really love the song with the mix of my voice and Jamie's voice. I find it's so unique in the Benighted
Yeah.
discography. So I'm very, very happy about it. It's a really a huge honor for us to have it on the new album.
Amazing. Of course, I'm also curious about the artwork of the album. Who did it, and which is the meaning of behind the artwork of the album?
The artwork, of course, it talks about the concept. It's a concept album, like every
Okay,
Benighted.
that's
And
good.
I would say that the cover represents a deformed child, which is the main character of the story, with a very deformed cleft palate. And he is psychotic, and the demon behind him is like it's the Oedipal issues he's got with his mother, and the demon around him is the sexual pressure he feels for his mother, who tries to choke him, smothering him, and
Yeah,
that's what it's supposed to represent. So
uh,
it's a beautiful love story.
yeah, but it's a good artwork because you don't understand really what it exactly means. So you have to ask what does it represent because it could show you different meanings. I mean, is you can interpret it by yourself the meaning of the artwork.
Absolutely.
This is what I like most. And speaking about your previous work, did you find any difference in songwriting and composition? I mean, from the last one to the past ones?
Well, in the writing process, I would say no, because we always have the same way to work. I mean, Manu, the guitarist, writes almost everything,
Emmanuel, yeah,
and then we work together to define the structure of the songs, what kind of idea we can have for breaks,
yeah.
what riffs can be the most effective chorus for that song, blah blah blah. But I would say the main difference with Necrobreed would be maybe it's there's a more of this hardcore influence that we had on our previous album, like Carnival Sublime, for example, and it's a bit back on Obscene Repressed,
Yeah.
and that's something that we really like because these hardcore parts they always work very well on
That's very
stage.
nice. Yeah.
The the mosh pit is just perfect to make people move and get crazy in the mosh
Uh,
pit. So
You can, I mean, you're a singer. You can just stay with a microphone and sing. You have to just jump into the crowd, make more noise as you can. So I completely understand it.
Yeah.
So speaking about live, you've been touring with a huge band, as you said before, Cryptopsy, Aborted. How was it? And there were some moments that you remember most about all the live that you did it, and some moments that you want to share, like I don't know, memories, funny moments. Up to you.
So, but you maybe know that Sven from Aborted, the singer, is one of my closest friends. And when we are touring together, we have this kind of tradition at some point to give a hard time to each other on stage. And so we started a joke. I mean, I was invited as a guest to sing on a song with Aborted every night too. And for one of the last concerts, with this guy is my guitarist who has very long and blonde hair with a bald, fake how
Yeah.
do you call that? Bald fake head, and he took my stage clothes. Of course, got barefoot like I am on stage. And at the moment where Sven called me on stage, he went on stage instead of me. And the guys from Aborted, as the song started, you could look in their eyes that they were very worried, like, is he actually gonna sing instead of Julien or not? And I was hidden on the side of the stage, and I got the real microphone who was working, so he just pretended to sing, but I was the one
Yeah.
singing behind. And he tried to took all the mimics I've got on stage, and seriously, it was so hilarious to see
Yes, I
that.
can imagine. I mean, I can imagine even the crowd looking at this, what the crowd could think. I mean,
Everybody was laughing so much, and it was even hard for me to sing because I was laughing at the same time. So
you can just
yeah, that was hard to
putting
stay
songs
sing.
together doesn't matter.
Very-
And
But
I
I
mean,
got I got the, I got the answer back at the concert after, because then of course he wanted a revenge. So I was on stage, and at the second track, I was talking to the crowd, and I didn't know why, but everybody was laughing like hell, and the member of my band on stage too. And I was like, what the fuck is funny? I didn't understand anything because on my monitor my voice sounded normal, but Sven was with a sound guy, and he changed my voice for it, like like this very stupid robotic voice, like. So everyone, I didn't understand why everyone was
yes,
laughing.
because you couldn't hear it from
Yeah,
the stage. You
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
because
It was,
yes,
yeah. So I
from the
was
sky. Yeah.
yeah, and I said, what the fuck? And I heard Sven scream from the back of the venue, "Revenge, motherfucker!" So that was a very, very, very smart revenge, and I found it terribly hysterical. It was great,
No,
really great.
it's I mean it's amazing when you have also this friendship with bands with because it's like having a family. I think like
Indeed.
because you're touring. I mean during the tour you properly create a bondage with the people, a relationship that
Of
you
course.
can keep on going during the years, and at the end you will have like a big family. I'm noticing when I interview, for example, Skeleton Remains, and they say, oh, say hi to the other guy that I'm going to interview. And what the fuck, everyone knows each other, I'm getting confused.
Yeah, well,
So
but
that
everybody knows. Yeah, everybody knows everybody. It's amazing.
for example, I found out that everyone is from Belgium. People that I interview from, what the hell? What is happening in Belgium? There are like okay, I will just go there and interview all the band in Belgium, even Entron from Belgium. So, what the hell? Speaking of course about touring, I remember that the amazing 2017, I think it was Summer Breeze 20 years of anniversary. It
Yeah,
was funny because I met, I think, your guitarist, Emmanuel.
yeah,
I met him. I was on the. He was looking maybe from the, the shirt on the. Because there was this stand
yeah,
during the.
yeah.
I was with a friend of mine, and he said, "Oh, he's I know that." And I said, "He's the guitarist of Benighted. You want me to ask an interview for them or something?" It was like, "No, no, 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 don't!" Like it was. I said, "Come on, just." In fact, I was introduced to Emmanuel and say, "Okay, next month we will do an interview," and you just passed what 3 years.
Yeah. That's a
So
long time.
so
That's a long
speaking
delay.
about that moment because it was a really an amazing festival that year, maybe one of the best in the few years of Summer Breeze. I was I want in particular speaking about that festival. That was a moment in that 2017 Summer Breeze that you remember most. That how was it for you playing Indian 20th anniversary of Summer Breeze because it was huge.
Yeah, it was I think it was the third time that we played Summer Breeze, and every time is just amazing. I remember
Yeah.
once when we arrived on stage, the crowd was singing La Marseillaise, the French hymn. I was like, what the fuck? And it was very, it was a very moving moment. And
Yeah.
every time we play Summer Breeze, we have a great time, great reactions from the crowd. And this time, the funny thing is that the day just before we were playing at a French festival called Motocultor Festival, and it's the very north west of
North
France.
west. Okay, at the border.
We played at midnight, I think, or something, and we were supposed to play, I don't know, at 3 o'clock or something at the Summer Breeze, and we had 11 or 12 hours driving. So we
Oh
just
my
drove
god.
straight. We went on a stage. We drove all night, maybe with one stop for gas, and then we
Yeah.
arrived directly on stage at Summer Breeze. So,
Yeah, it happens to all some bands too, but there is some things good the Summer Breeze, the VIP area, there is the
yeah,
paradise. You can just
definitely.
lay down all the time and listen to the music and relax. This is what I love about Summer Breeze. Because I said
That's
it's like home.
yeah.
Yeah. And since we are speaking about festival and gigs, do you prefer festival or just touring? Like, small clubs, gigs, just a normal tour?
The thing is that I don't have any preference about it because I love, of course, playing big festivals. It's always very impressive, to have a huge
Yeah.
crowd in front of you. But I also like, to play in very small club when you have something, I don't know, maybe 100 people, but you are very close from the crowd. The crowd come on stage with you, and it's this
Amazing.
very grindcore atmosphere, where everything is so messy, but you have an amazing moment because it's so brutal and
Sure.
so fun at the same time. I remember once, I think it was in Vietnam. We were touring in Asia, and
Yeah.
Yeah, in Saigon, we arrived to the venue, and it was something like 400 capacity, and it was sold out. And when we arrived to the venue, we were like, "But where is the stage?" And they told me, "You are
You
on the
was
stage."
uh, you
And
was just
there,
like playing in the
there was
floor in
no
the
stage.
pavement.
There was the ground. That's all.
I mean, you
So we
like
were like,
like happens most of the time when you're playing in East Europe. You have all the time these small clubs, and yeah, at least say you don't play in festival most of the time for the most underground metal bands. They have just this small in Romania, in Czech Republic, this small club. They are fucking amazing because you have this intimacy atmosphere with the
yeah,
crowd.
yeah.
It's amazing, and because it's more underground, even if you, for example, are a huge band, you can feel that there is still the underground, because I think that every band comes from the underground. So if it doesn't exist the underground, the bomb can be exist the biggest band or whatever. And which band
Back to underground sometimes. I really love to play in
yeah,
small club and have this underground feeling with the crowd, and
that's
I really
amazing.
love it.
Yeah. And which bands, I mean, you think for you influenced most Benighted?
Which band? Sorry.
Influenced most Benighted, musically speaking?
Musically, but I think at the very beginning, I think I would say bands like Dying Fetus or Aborted, because we were all fans of this band, and we at the very beginning we had influences like Napalm Death also that
Yeah.
we all love in the band, and some black metal influences like Marduk of this kind of band that I really enjoy too. And one of my favorite band, for example, is Shining, and I really love Shining. What can I say as band which influences me? Suffocation, of course, at the beginning also. And I think that's approximately all. But I have a lot of bands that I love, like Cattle
Yeah.
Decapitation or Devourment. But the main band that
But
influences them, I would say Aborted, Dying Fetus, and
about
Death.
And for you as singer, which is your influences? I mean, if there is some singer that you may appreciated most, or that maybe teaches you some way of particular way of singing, says that of course you make it your own, but someone that inspires you, what better say?
Well, I would say at first it was maybe at first it was Chris Barnes from Cannibal Corpse, but he doesn't use at all the kind of techniques I do. I think, but when I was young, I was that was my favorite death metal vocalist when he was in Cannibal Corpse, and
Yeah,
I feel more close from a voice like John Gallagher from Dying Fetus, for example, for my
yeah,
growling voice. I mean, I try to create my own kind of voice and to do as
your
many as I can,
style.
yeah, for it to be very, have a lot of variation and being at the same time rich and effective. But yeah, all the other voices I found them by myself trying in my car. Actually.
Of course. Now some stupid question, but just funny. I mean, now you are the organizer of a festival. Okay, so now you're the organizer.
Okay.
If which band? Of course, I think with Benighted, because I think you will bring your bands too. Which band do you want to play in this festival? The lineup. You can say two band, four band. It's up to you.
Ah, that would be a. I think if I was a promoter of festival, I would be promoter like Brutal Assault or Death Fist
Okay.
Open Air in Germany. So I think I would say yeah, Cattle Decapitation or Dying Fetus, Warm Road from Singapore because I fucking love them. And I think all my friends, I mean, Aborted, Cytotoxin, that would be a big friend party.
Yeah, at the end there will be a party at the end. Yeah,
Definitely. The Black Dahlia Murder that I really love, and the guys are so nice and so fantastic. And maybe some black metal bands too, like Der Weg einer Freiheit, that I really love also.
that's amazing. And I mean, if you have to describe, if you have to say which type of death metal is Benighted, what is just like classical death metal or with more brutal grind? I mean, if we have to give a genre to Benighted,
Ah,
what will it be?
yeah, the closest will be Brutal Death Grind, I think.
Uh, okay, that's perfect. That's perfect because there is always all these there is brutal death metal, grindcore, brutal, and sometimes what the hell is the difference?
And also because things changes, because at first deathcore, for example, the very Dying Fetus was deathcore. That
Yeah,
when you at first when you spoke about deathcore, you were talking about Dying Fetus, but now you talk about that like Suicide Silence or this kind of band which has nothing to do with Dying Fetus anymore.
yeah, and a song that you can say that can represent most Benighted, that maybe for the newest, the newly found people like that, that wants to listen, that say, okay, just listen to the song and we know who Benighted are.
I would say "Let the Blood Spill Between My Broken Teeth" because it's like our hymn. I make people scream this title every time at every show, every festival, and it's always, like it's giving me goosebumps when I hear the crowd sing, "Let the blood spill between my broken teeth," and I really love it. That's a
That's
feeling that I really.
amazing. And you think that you're more inspired by Swedish death metal on the Floridian one? I think more Swedish, maybe.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, well,
Yeah, I understand that speaking with you.
yeah, and I'm only the singer, so it's very difficult for me to talk about guitars or something else. I know how to imitate pigs. I know how to imitate, the frog, but that's all.
And what about the for you an opinion about the scene, the scenario of European death metal? How is for you? The,
Excuse me.
I mean, your personal opinion about the European scenario of death metal.
Oh, I think we have a very rich scene in Europe, and we have nothing to be ashamed with the US. I mean, old school death metal or more modern death metal, we have great bands in every country. So I would say that we are lucky to have our own culture because, for example, in France, it was at some point a problem that French bands were too, I think, too shy to assume their own identity, and they were just copying a huge American band and try to come with their band, but that was just a copy of something that already
Yes.
exists. And now I think we are less shy and more, unleashed and
Yeah.
assuming our identity. And I think European bands propose something very very personal now, and that we have nothing to be ashamed of because we have so many fucking great bands in Europe. But I think
That's
it's the
true.
same. Nothing to envy to the US. They have very good bands, but we have very good bands too.
Yes. And the future plans of United. I mean, I
What?
know right now future plans. I know right now there is. It's not. I mean, we can do proper, proper plans. We can say proper plans. But if you have something for the future ready,
Well, but for now, we try to book as much concerts and festivals as we can. I think I know what I'm doing until October 2021, for example. But we know that every concert, every month can be cancelled because of the COVID situation. So we
yeah,
just try to do as much as we can, and we are totally dependent on the COVID situation. So we just wait, cross our fingers hard that we can finally tour to promote this new album because it's
I
very
really hope so. And it would be also a good thing to next year at Summer Breeze.
oh yeah, but we are already confirmed at Summer Breeze.
I know, I know, I know. And
I
it will
was
be
so
this.
I was
It will
so
be
sad,
good.
but it was
And this time I
yeah.
will bring in my fucking camera and make it a proper interview.
My
If
pleasure.
I it would be like
Yeah,
it would be better because when I made an interview at Summer Breeze all the time is like they are perfect. We sit on the ground, just we speak.
yeah.
You can hear nothing. Sometimes some band playing on the was
It
the
was
T
great. The big
stage.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's it's better when you are of course with the making an interview with the band next to you because it's like laughing and sharing a beer. This is better. But of
Yeah.
course, right now we have to do like this for this COVID, and there's nothing we can do. But at least all what I say to the people is support all the time music and be optimistic that because they think that there is nothing this virus will keep on going, just say okay, there is Summer Breeze, buy the ticket, there is the new album, buy the album, there is the shirt, buy the shirt, just support everyone between
Yeah.
fans, band and bands, especially for the new band, for the underground band, because if then we don't support the smallest band, they will die. I mean, immediately. It is bad.
You are right. Definitely. Yeah. But
Yeah,
we are lucky that our fans are very very faithful and they really supported us during the COVID
I know, I
situation.
know.
The new album,
When
really.
I was a Summer Breeze, I was taking a picture of you, and then I had to go to another stage for another band. I was left alone because they told me, "No, no, I have to see. I want to see Benighted." No, you just go by your own. I was like, "Okay, thanks." You have really, believe me, a lot of fans here in Italy,
Um,
especially in Sicily. They are because here we have a really huge death metal scenario.
mhm.
Only there is no other type of metal here, only death metal. So yeah,
Nice. Super nice.
maybe one day, I who knows, it
I
will
hope
be
so.
great. Okay,
Mhm.
so we are at the end. I will just a message for your fans, our readers, now watchers and followers. And this is all for now.
Yeah, but thanks a lot for this interview, Ada. It was a pleasure for me, and
For me too.
thank all the people who support us for so many years. And really, I cross my fingers very, very hard that we will be able to tour and come to all the countries we can. And Italy, it's a long time we didn't play there, and I really want to go there again. And well, I hope to see you at Summer Breeze, if not before. and
I hope
and
before, if there is a chance, why not? It will be better.
yeah, with
Yeah,
pleasure. And take good care of yourself and
you too.
all
And
your love.
thanks for really the availability. It was really funny and nice having some moment of chilling after. tough period. So
Thank
take
you.
take care, and see you at Summer Breeze, I hope.
With
Okay.
pleasure.
Au revoir, Julien. Bye.
Bye. Au revoir.
Bye.
You can't refuse what the old man whispered to the preacher during the sermon. He's a saint to the fools of the old land, but we can see straight through the tricks that he is turning. He'll speak, but you gotta believe there's only trouble creeping